Welcome back to my channel Esther in Spain. Today I'm having lunch with my girlfriend from Hong Kong, Lily. She lives in Madrid as well, and she's taken me to a very local seafood restaurant. And here it doesn't have very nice decoration, but the seafood looks so good. I really look forward to it. This is my girlfriend Lily. Actually, she can't wait to have her seafood already. So she's from Hong Kong.
This is very nice. It's very local.
So how,
Authentic.
actually, how did we meet?
We met each other in the driving school. Remember, you're waiting for the teacher.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the lesson, and then I finished the lesson, and then we just see each other, and we thought I think that you should be from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
They've always
Actually,
been very
I really, we see a lot of Chinese here in Madrid, but to see someone from Hong Kong, it's really not easy.
Rare.
So we are rare species here. And so anyway, I was waiting for my teacher, right? So she just got out from the car, and I saw her. Hey, where are you from? So anyway, that's how we met, and so we were so lucky after some torture of taking the driving class, and we both actually passed the exam in May. So and then we actually met to have a celebration.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So we met in May, and then we met in July, right? And then now this is like October. So it's like every year we're gonna meet like 4 times.
Yeah, but
although
anyway,
we're in the same
because
town.
we travel so much. Actually,
You travel so much.
She goes to Portugal a lot because you're immigration consultant. Yeah, I forgot to tell.
Yeah.
She actually works as an immigration consultant.
Yeah. Basically, I'm helping people mainly from Hong Kong and China to help them to get the residency in Spain or Portugal, and now I'm extending to Greece as well because you see that I was in Greece the other day. Yeah, so
actually, Greece is a very nice place.
it's
and
so
also
nice. It's
cheaper,
super nice. No,
It's
they
not
raised
cheaper?
it. They just raised it the minimum requirement for golden visa. So now
wow,
you
how
have to
much?
spend like 500,000 same.
Oh, same. Actually, Portugal, Spain, also 500,000, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But I think the properties are they cheaper in Athens? The property?
No. If you look at my suggestion is that you should buy the islands because it's like so much nicer. Athens is still like Bangkok, or it's in Lisbon like 10 years ago. But however, if you look at Mykonos or Santorini right now, do you know how much per square meter? 7,500 euro per square meter to 10,000. In Mykonos, you get 10,000 euros
Well, but
per square
I
meter.
mean,
It's just much more expensive than
but those
Madrid.
places are so expensive. I mean,
Yeah, but
do
it's
you
like-
think about you buy in Mallorca to buy it in the good places in Mallorca is actually quite expensive as well, right?
Yeah, if it's in the Palma, yeah.
And Portugal and
But it's different
Algarve.
because Palma has traditionally it was a town that is very deluxe. In Lisbon, of course, right now in Cascais and all these is very expensive. But Mykonos, if you look at 2-3 years ago, it was just like 3,000 per square meter or less. So if you invest something like in the last 2 years, it's just like
Wow. Actually, I looked at it before, but I find it just too troublesome.
It's very,
to go
very
there.
difficult to
And
travel.
then for investment is a little bit of inconvenience.
You have to do Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you do the residence like golden visa. Then I think it's actually good. You make money and at the same
make
time
money.
you get the residence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we ordered all the oysters now, but we got this for free, like appetizer.
It's like a tapas, right? It's like a free
Okay,
tapas.
and then
This is like the mini escargot.
so yeah, it's a sea snail, right? And look at that. How do I get it?
It's gratis.
Look at that. It's really tiny.
We didn't ask for it.
But it's so tasty, right?
It's very,
so
very nice,
sweet,
very
right?
sweet. Yeah.
It's from Galicia, but I forgot the name from Galicia. When I go to the market,
¿Cómo se llaman estos bichitos? Vígaros.
Víganos. Biganos. Okay, Biganos, no?
Miganos.
Yeah. It's really tasty, right?
Yeah.
So we have the
Fast.
oysters here. And so this is actually from Galicia, and I went to Vigo in summer to have oysters. Actually, in Vigo, in Galicia, they have oyster farm, and they have two types only. One is called Oysters planas. In English, is flat oyster. The other one is Oysters retardas. That is the curved oysters. But this one is better. You see, the Spanish don't really know how to market, right? Because the name is totally not sexy, right?
So how will you call it if you want to have some sexy?
I don't know. Let's ask the French. Let's ask the French. So you think the oysters are too small, right? But actually, I like the small one. They're not big.
I love
because
big oyster.
I don't like the texture. Right?
I love
Yeah,
big one that you
but
can
it's so fresh.
Yes, very
It's so
nice.
fresh. You must be jealous. So good. So actually, I love living in Spain. But I have an advantage, of course, because
Your rich husband.
Of course not. He's not rich, but I actually learned Spanish when we met because I knew I had to travel to Spain. So, I got really used to speaking Spanish, and so language is not really an issue. It's not a big issue, and so for me, it's very easy to, I moved to Madrid 3 years ago, and it's so easy. But then I just imagine for your clients, they, you think about it. I mean, Chinese people or Hong Kong Chinese, they move to Canada, US, or Australia is easier because they speak English. But to Europe, I mean, like Spanish, and then maybe now in Greece, right? They may have to learn the Greek. So how do they adapt?
Okay, I have like three types of clients. The first types, they're basically from China. So when they arrive here, they cannot speak English, they cannot speak Spanish. Zero.
So it's the same.
So it's the same. So it's regardless where they go, they still have to pick up new language, or they just have to bring the dictionary or like the translator, instant translator. But then because they're very versatile, these clients, it's amazing that they can't speak neither languages, but then they can get the driving license, they can mingle around, they can live.
But they can't.
Yes, they can. Yeah,
But
I have a
if
client.
they don't speak English, how can they get the...
They just memorize. I have a client arrived here. Neither languages she can speak. In 7 months, she got the license faster than me.
faster than me.
Yeah, so it's about courage. It's about persistency.
Actually, when you decide to leave another country, it's the courage and the
It's the
determination,
determination,
right?
the tenacity. So it's just here, right? So I have this group of Chinese clients right now. They're in Mallorca, they're in Valencia, they're in Alicante. They survive, and the kids are very happy with the education, which is very important for these people who the real motives for them to come here is for their kids' education.
Actually, I think
which
many
is
families the same, right? It's
Yeah.
really not for the adults, right? It's for the kids.
Yeah, whereas I have the second group of clients, they're from Hong Kong mostly, but then now I started to have like from Singapore. They come here for retirement purposes. So they're in their 60s. Some of them, they just come here and they use very little English to navigate. But then most importantly, they're looking for apartment, houses to settle. Whereas I have another part of the clients is like they come here and then they like committed to learn the language because anyway they're retiring, so they have a lot of time to do so.
But for you, actually, I mean, you moved here a few years ago, right? 5 years, right? So
Almost 5 years, 4.5.
You are amazing too. She speaks very good Spanish.
No,
much better than me,
No.
especially writing. I think she writes very well.
No,
Her
no.
grammars are really good. I saw her writing in Instagram.
Yeah, I tell you what, I can read contract and I can translate
She's
immediately.
amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing. I'm a contract. for me is difficult. I mean, I'll get my husband. Please read it.
It's good because you have a useful husband. My husband.
Don't
So that's-
say that.
yeah.
Okay, stop. You cannot say that.
Yeah, but then that trained me. So I came here 4.5 years ago because the processes of everything is so redundant in Spain. I cried so much.
No, but Portugal is worse.
But depends.
I mean, I found Portugal so bureaucratic.
It is, but in Portugal, you still have English as the media. In a lot of the government website, they do have English languages. But then in Spain, it's total Spanish.
Yeah, the problem here, I think for the TV and the cinema movies, they dub it, so the people don't get the opportunity to
it's very
try
sad.
to train their ears.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem.
Yeah, and you see that a lot of people they get this kind of complexity because they want to speak English, but then they cannot speak English. So they get angry when you don't speak Spanish. You know, like you have this kind of complex, which is very sad. But then if you look at the new generation now, they're much better.
Yeah.
So it's just a transition.
Because I think our niece, the generation, they're 20-something, 30. But in school they need to learn English. Actually, it's quite a lot of English they needed to learn. So I think the new generation is much better.
Yeah.
But the old generation, yeah. And but I mean I don't know. I mean I have been to Portugal many times, but I mean, if you ask me, I prefer Spain.
Yeah?
Because I think the people actually enjoy life. I mean, in Portugal, if you
They're
go
just
to the big
hardworking.
cities, okay, you
Yeah.
go to the big cities, there's a lot of life. But once you go to the villages, or like if you are not in Lisbon or Porto, then it's another thing. It's
Put
totally
it this way. Portugal traditionally is a poor country. So apart from Lisbon, most of the places 50 years ago, 30 years ago, is farmer villages. Whereas in Spain, for the last 100 years, is like we have big cities like Barcelona and Madrid. Traditionally, this is a city. So that's the difference. I would say.
I see.